Minutes away from kickoff at the GTEC Stadium as Brentford's hope points back of Liverpool, but with 2 games in hand on the Reds. How much do you think this team missed this man?
Well, in a strange way, he helps them out in defence, he controls the midfield, and he can...
Today, kickoff in just over 5 minutes. It's kickoff on the other side of the break.
Going to all be about Tony. When the ball goes up to him, can he hold it up? Because if he is, and they're so difficult to play against.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's something that GTEC Stadium. It is Brentford against Manchester City as we send it out to...
3 in a row. That would be a real block on Pep Guardiola. Rusty, the attempted layoff from Haaland. City give it away. And just as Edison was coming out to claim it...
Just 11 Premier League games. That's surprising.
He's into a good position here.
They switched their positions so well.
Alvarez, who scored 2 in the... Here is Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. Haaland's shot is blocked, but the combination is there.
Oh, he's just had 2 crosses in the space of 60 seconds, Kevin De Bruyne.
There's De Bruyne. Foden going towards the near post, fired in. Tracked well by Alvarez, who can shoot from this sort of range. Took his time. But it was worth the wait in the sense of the quality of the shot. And getting it through for Foden. Penalty areas, and it comes back out to Guardiola, and it's going to be another corner. He didn't defend that very well.
No, they did enough.
There's Bernardo Silva. And Alvarez. That's another good save by Flecken from the Argentinian. Tried his luck.
Well, Phil Foden's
been Tony, but the flag stays down, and Tony doesn't put the chance away any longer. He's going to have a crack. Woof! What a crack! Well, we corner taker De Bruyne. And, it was a right idea, but the wrong execution. Trying to knock it back. As it crossed towards Haaland. Who's in on goal here, and he tucks it away. Neil Maupay, whose season has been transformed since the turn of the year. He keeps his run going of scoring in every Brentford game in 2024, and this one is against Manchester City. Erling Haaland in for the equaliser, but Flecken makes another fine save. He's having a terrific night. Rostov doing his utmost to keep it in. But maybe not for long, because De Bruyne is pressing in there. Well, he certainly hit the target this time, and Flecken again. Alvarez going in, getting any power on the header from that. De Bruyne changing the angle, getting another corner. Walker. I was going to say it's going to need passing of rare precision to get through that on the ground. That nip for Brentford. Now Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne is so good at that run. City aren't out of the wood yet. Brentford want a free kick.
It's composure and being brave on the ball.
Silva, but it doesn't. Towards Collins, the Irishman. And it needed saving. It would have been Reguilon's goal. And they're still on the going into the thick of it. And it might be another corner, I think it is.
It's really interesting.
In by Pinnock. Ake's there. Well, it's in the end neither one thing or the other, but it's a lovely pass to set him up. Norgard caught. Foden! And the goalkeeper has made another save, so that was perhaps the only... Might try his luck himself, and another save. That might just have been going wide, but Flecken couldn't take. Foden wants it back. Too tight. Again towards Ake, and then the volley from Bernardo Silva. We've seen that one before. Next stop for Foden, and they've got the equaliser. Those extra few seconds grasped by Manchester City, and Phil Foden in particular. The pressure finally. Haaland wants it early. Haaland going in for it. De Bruyne trying.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station. Object tracking available.
It seems to be.
Go ahead. Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
Oh, what?
Six. What a shot. Huge. Big hit at the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Conceding in the last few seconds of the first half. Look how deep Ivan Toney is. He's got the free kick and he'll brimming with confidence. Can't quite get the corner that he was struck. Looking for Reguilon, one wing back to another. Walker, including Alvarez, of course. Foden gets it away. Bruyne. And there's another Phil Foden effort. He looks across to see whether he's onside or not. The flag has stayed down either side of half-time. Fantastic Foden.
That's brilliant.
And they'll always get players up in support, like Ahmad Zaroslav. The De Bruyne shot is deflected, but some of the pace was taken off it by the deflection, and Flecken was able to make the catch.
Yeah, Foden just having
At the back post. And the corner is the decision. In swinging corner, it's well defended by Collins. Ooh, and that's the craft in it. Well, it was an opportunity. At the block, he gets to it. Oh, from our angle, that looked there. Mope was going to find another goal. Rodri trying to place it beyond Flecken. Edison able to take charge. Here's the hat-trick. What a night for one of the most talented English players of this generation. And he has turned this game around. He's taken it away from Brentford almost single-handedly. The one here in Haaland is just behind him. Can he get there? Towed away from Ivan Toney by making that. Oh, that was a good header from Norgard, who's often the target.
couldn't get
back. Toney was coming into a position of some opportunity.
He impressed me.
That's good save because he spun and shot. Excellent, excellent. And De Bruyne coming on to it.
Dạ quật cả. Quật cả thôi chứ. Lần thứ hai em đi ngủ nha, nhớ chưa?
Nọ thì là cầm hoa nha.
Dạ cầm hoa nha, mang cái đi bộ vô hộp màu này nha. Màu của chị dâu này nha. Dạ cầm hoa tí này nha.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Gallon Group Stadium for Spurs versus Man City in the Barclays Women's Super League. Match day 12 for both of these two, who have been in excellent form recently. 4 straight wins for Spurs, 6 consecutive victories for Manchester City. Those runs both across all competitions. That run for City starting with an emphatic 7-0 win when these sides met in the reverse fixture in late November. And nothing less than a continuation of that run will help Manchester City re-close the gap on Chelsea at the top after Chelsea won 3-0 at Brighton yesterday. I'm Michael McCann, your matchday commentator. A great pleasure to have your company in East London for this one, where Spurs will look to show just how much they've improved so far this season. They have as many points accumulated in the first half of the campaign, the 11 games of 22 played so far, as they managed in all of last season when narrowly avoiding relegation. The glow-up under Robert Villahamon has been very noticeable. This is his starting lineup for the day. One change from the side that won 4-3 in that epic 7-goal thriller against West Ham a week ago. Charlie Grant comes in for Angarad James down one flank, but it's actually a double change in terms of the fullbacks. Amanda Neal then gets a start as well. Ashley Neville out with a thigh strain. As for Manchester City, they're the ones who've made one change. Philippa Angel-Dahl, who started in the midweek Conti Cup win against Manchester United, comes in for Jill Roord, who unfortunately has suffered that horrible ACL injury in that particular fixture. So one alteration for Manchester City from the team that won 5-1 against Liverpool in their last league game. Of course, both teams have had Conti Cup action since. Manchester City got themselves a win against Manchester United by 2-1, which has confirmed their spot in the Conti Cup quarter-finals, which will be played on the 7th or 8th of February. Spurs won 3-0 at Championship side Southampton, and that meant that they finished second in their group behind Arsenal, finishing behind the Gunners courtesy of losing to them on a penalty shootout when they met in that particular head-to-head. So Spurs looking to keep up their good form, but remember there's plenty of football to be watching elsewhere as well. Bristol City against West Ham United, a massive game at the bottom of the table, is kicking off right about now as well. Later on today, starting in 2.5 hours, is Liverpool versus Arsenal. Of course, a couple of games already completed earlier on across your feast of Sunday football. So Manchester City in their changed black kit to attack from left to right as we look at things in our commentary box. At the start of this first half, Spurs from right to left. A moment to take a stand by taking a knee against all forms of racism and discrimination. Incredibly important that this space is for all of us to enjoy, regardless of your identity. Off and underway then. Two sides in red-hot form. And Tottenham Hotspur looking to make it 5 in a row. Manchester City hoping to make it 7. One of the fixtures of the weekend to look out for. And if Manchester City are to realistically challenge Chelsea for the title this season, it is probably the kind of game that they have to be travelling back north with 3 points in their back pocket. And that is no disrespect to Spurs, because it's a very tough task for them. They do have an excellent record in this head-to-head. They've won 7 of their 8 WSL games against Spurs. The only one they didn't win was when it was the so-called Hand of Roz. Spurs winning 2-1 at Manchester City, possibly through the help of the hand of a certain Rosella Ryan, who is on the bench today for Spurs. Manchester City have won every other meeting between them across the 7 league games. They've beaten them a couple of times in the Cup. All of those encounters across the last 5 years. Alessandri. Kasparai. Back to Chiara Keating, having something of a breakthrough season in the Manchester City goal. Of course, Ali Roebuck has been conspicuously absent. Sandy McKeever on the bench. But it is Keating that has very much dominated in terms of possession of the shirt. Keating started 14 of the 16 games thus far across all competitions. Alex Greenwood, such a brilliant distributor out of the back. And under Gareth Taylor in more recent times has evolved from a fullback into a quite magnificent left centre-back whose progressive passing numbers are right up there with the very best around. First touch of the ball for Barbara Votikova. Been a valuable addition in goal for Spurs this season. And now a first... Well, I was going to say first touch for Charlie Grant. It didn't work out quite as she'd have liked. Grant, who scored in midweek for Spurs in that 3-0 win against Southampton. This new look fullback pairing, and that's going to be one of the key tactical battles to really keep your eyes on today. Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly, who will swap flanks a lot themselves, up against Charlie Grant and Amanda Neal then. And here is the aforementioned Kelly. Does just about keep it in, but Amanda Neal then wins the first round of what will be a long battle, you imagine, and does pass it out into touch. For those unfamiliar, and Amanda Nielden signed from Juventus on loan in January, can play at centre-back and in the full-back areas. Robert Villahamon does like tactically flexible players, so she certainly fits into that. Left-footed, loves to get forward, has played in the WSL before for Brighton. He says it's a dream to come back to the WSL and that Spurs are building a big project that she's excited to be here with. Nielden has represented Sweden 7 times as well. Laia Alessandri trying to find a pass between the lines, cut out well by Nielden, and now a chance for Grace Clinton to run forward. Finds Beth England, who gets in a proper physical tussle with Alex Greenwood. That's going to be a battle to keep an eye on through the day. Don't be deceived by the sunshine, it is bitterly cold here at Brisbane Road. We're at about 7-8 degrees and chuck in a bit of wind chill. It's a day for the jacket. Spurs on the high press. It's been a real feature of Robert Villahamon's coaching so far. Bunny Shaw has dropped deep and spun magnificently. That is Bunny Shaw at a quite brilliant best. And suddenly an attacking platform for Manchester City. Hemp inside, Coombs starting to tick the ball around in the way that they can look so impressive. Kelly, always bright, always a threat. Hasegawa. Kelly going around the outside, then checking back. Linking up with Kasparai, who gets the 1-2 and it's in a lot of space. Nielden's lost her. Kasparai's cross, headed half away. Still in there, Angeldal couldn't quite shoot. Still there for Manchester City. Hemp. Tried to put one in. Was cut out by Olga Attinen. Nicely worked move. And Wahabi ultimately manages to win the corner. First extended spell of pressure for Manchester City, trying to pick the lock early. I have good memories of facing Spurs, of course, the first time these sides met. 7-0 winners on the 26th of November. A first half hat-trick from Khadija Bunny Shaw. He's making her 50th WSL appearance today, already has 41 goals. Would be a brave person to possibly bet against scoring again today. Hasegawa. It's a clever training ground routine, and Hasegawa's caught late. That's a clear free kick. There's no attempt from Clinton to even think of arguing with the decision. An immediate hand up in the air and apologies for Grace Clinton. He's worked her way into the Lionesses setup this season, of course, and scored 2 goals in the midweek Conti Cup win. N17 Women podcast called Amazing Grace, referring to Grace's brace after she scored those 2. Beg your pardon, of course not in the Conti Cup win, in the 4-3 win against West Ham is what I meant to say. Clinton borrowed from Manchester United, very much making Spurs her home this season. Now, who will it be for Manchester City? So many options. Greenwood, Kelly, Hasegawa, what a choice. It's round the wall, and it's a brilliant save by Votikova to deny Alex Greenwood. An excellent free kick, and the save was just as good, if not more impressive. Barbara Votikova at her brilliant best. As Keating has a slightly nervous moment at the other end. Well, this is a game that was billed somewhat as being between 2 teams with every willingness to get on the ball and attack and make things happen. And we've seen plenty of signs of that even in the early stages. I suppose pressing high in the first few moments. And then Manchester City almost grabbing the lead there. There's so much attacking quality on the pitch with these 2 sides, and I suppose particularly this season have gone in a very different tactical direction under Robert Villahamon compared to where they were last time around with Rhiannon Skinner. Villahamon wanting players who are good on the ball right through the team, and emphasis on keeping possession and attacking. Said in press conference he'd rather in 3-2 or 5-4 than 1-0. And that's certainly been proved in Spurs' approach, and you know with Manchester City, the quality they've got, they'll always be entertaining. Very hard to keep quiet. It's Hasegawa. Slipped inside, Hemp, twisting and turning. Greenwood. Just trying to work an opening, an overload down this left flank. Coombs has put herself in an advanced position there for a second. Kasparai. It's been a valuable addition to Manchester City since signing in the summer of 2022. The Dutch right back. Been a very consistent presence down that flank for the citizens. Hemp down the line for Coombs. Hemp again, just stopping and then turning on the afterburners with the acceleration, looking for Shaw. Oh, it's an own goal. Manchester City have the lead. Looked to me to have come off Molly Bartrip. Khadija Bunny Shaw was in the vicinity, but it's a bit of fortune in truth for the visiting side, but created by their own excellent play down the left. Hemp with that classic stop and then charging forward. And it's Amy Turner, in fact. It comes off Turner's chest. A moment to forget for Amy Turner, created by Hemp's cross, and that is just what Spurs wouldn't have wanted. Having lost the reverse fixture 7-0 between these two, almost 2 months ago to the day, they find themselves 1-0 down here. Really strange goal. Turner and Votikova maybe in a moment of miscommunication. And now Votikova has to slide and scramble at the feet of Khadija Bunny Shaw. Nervous moments for Spurs. Sent forward, England chasing in the channel. Back at the feet of Keating. And Keating now has her effort blocked. That's great hustle in there by Martha Thomas. But hustle at this time comes to nothing. Thomas, who's been arguably the signing of the season, or certainly one of. 7 goals in the WSL. At one point she was the top scorer in the division. She's also picked up a Barclays WSL Player of the Month crown already this campaign. Thomas signed from Manchester United after playing just 9 games in 2 years there. In her words, playing under a manager whose values allow me to thrive is what's brought out the best in her this season. Enjoying life under Robert Villahamon. And of course a good way to endear yourself to Spurs fans is scoring the winner in the North London derby. But right now Spurs are on the back foot once more as Kelly wins a corner. Spurs have got to dig in and try and avoid conceding a second. Manchester City have got their foot on the accelerator pedal. Do they go short? They've gone short when they had that corner on the other side, tried to work something. Or does Greenwood look to zing the ball into the box off that wand of a left foot that she's got? Such a good distributor from dead ball situations. And it comes from Greenwood. Only half cleared, volleyed back in. A brave block back there. It's not a head injury, so neither side are obligated to stop, although the referee may do so now. The referee will.
আইপিএল হচ্ছে ক্রিকেটের মধ্যে সবচেয়ে বড় আসর। তো আজকে দেখবো আমরা কিভাবে আইপিএল উইদাউট কপিরাইট ক্লেম ছাড়াই আমরা লাইভ করব এবং এই লাইভের মাধ্যমে কিভাবে ওয়াচ টাইম কমপ্লিট করব এবং এই ওয়াচ টাইম দ্বারা কিভাবে মনিটাইজেশন অ্যাপ্লাই করা যায় সেটাই আমরা দেখব। আর আইপিএল এ কখনোই কপিরাইট আসবে না, সেটা কিভাবে করা সম্ভব সেটা দেখানো হবে। আর আমি একদম ইজি ওয়েতে দেখাবো যাতে কারো প্রবলেম না হয় এবং সহজেই ডিটেইলসে আপনারা বুঝতে পারেন, এরপরে যেন কারো কোনো সমস্যা হবে না আশা করা যায়। আমি যেভাবে ডিটেইলসে দেখাবো, আর আশা করি সবাই তো লাইভ স্ট্রিমিং করতেই পারেন, কিন্তু লাইভ স্ট্রিমিং করার পরও আপনারা কপিরাইট ক্লেম খেয়ে যান। এরপর থেকে যেন কপিরাইট ক্লেম না হয় এই জন্য আমি সহজে ইজি মেথডটা দেখাবো। আপনারা যদি আমাদের চ্যানেলে নতুন হয় আমি এখানে লিখবো IPL লাইভ। সো এগুলো এখানে আমাদের হ্যাশট্যাগ নিতে হবে, তো আমরা হ্যাশট্যাগ সাইডে চলে যাব। এখানে এগুলোর হ্যাশট্যাগ গুলো বের হয়ে এসেছে, দেখেছেন এগুলো হ্যাশট্যাগ। এগুলো আমি কি করব এখন, এগুলো কপি করব। কপি করার আগে আমরা একটা জিনিস লক্ষ্য করব, এখানে সবগুলো হ্যাশট্যাগে আমরা কপি করব না, যেগুলো মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট হ্যাশট্যাগ সেগুলো আমরা কপি করব। এখান থেকে আরেকটা আমরা হ্যাশট্যাগ দিব হচ্ছে IPL হ্যাশট্যাগ টুডে, সরি দিতে হবে। মনে করবে এখান থেকে ফেসবুক মনে করবে এটা নতুন একটা ভিডিও, এখান থেকে আপনারা কপিরাইট ব্লগ এগুলো অ্যাকচুয়ালি আসবে না। মূলত এই ছবিটা দেওয়ার কারণটা হচ্ছে এই ব্লগ লিস্ট যেন না আসে, কপিরাইট ক্লেম যেন না আসে। এর কারণে আমরা যে কোনো একটা ছবি, যে কোনো আপনার নিজের হতে পারে, ফেসবুক থেকে হতে পারে, গুগল থেকে হতে পারে, যে কোনো একটা ছবি নিয়ে রাখবেন। হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা আপনারা এখন কোন কোন সোর্স থেকে ক্রিকেট লাইভটা চালাবেন সেই ওয়েবসাইটগুলো আমি আপনাদের এখন বলে দিচ্ছি, এবং এই ওয়েবসাইট লিঙ্কগুলো আমি আপনাদেরকে প্রোভাইড করে দেবো এবং ডিসক্রিপশনে দেওয়া থাকবে। আমরা প্রথমে নিব একটা হচ্ছে HD, এটা হচ্ছে hdcricket.com, এখান থেকেও আপনারা লাইভ চালাইতে পারবেন। এখানে আছে ক্রিক HD, এই ওয়েবসাইটটাও থেকে আপনারা চালাইতে পারবেন। এবং আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে ওয়াচ ক্রিকেট স্ট্রিমিং, যেটা হচ্ছে এখান থেকেও আপনারা লাইভ চালাবেন। এই তিনটা ওয়েবসাইট থেকে মূলত আপনারা লাইভ চালাইতে পারবেন। আর এই তিনটা থেকে মূলত হচ্ছে লাইভ সবাই চালায় আর কি, যারা যারা লাইভ করেন তো সবাই এই ওয়েবসাইটগুলো তিনটা জানেন, আর আমি এই তিনটা ওয়েবসাইট লিঙ্ক ডিসক্রিপশনে দিয়ে দিব। সো আমরা এখন এখান থেকে ক্লিক করব। এখন মূলত হচ্ছে কোনো খেলা হচ্ছে না, সো খেলা হচ্ছে না তো কি আর করার, এটা মূলত হচ্ছে হাইলাইট দেখাচ্ছে। আমরা এই হাইলাইটটা দিয়ে আমরা কিভাবে লাইভ করব এবং কোন কোন প্লাগইন ইউজ করব সেটা দেখাবো। হ্যাঁ, এখন খেলা হচ্ছে না তো আমরা হাইলাইট দেই করব। তো আমরা লিংকটা কপি করলাম, এখন দেন আমরা ব্রাউজারে এই লিংকটা পেস্ট করে দেব। এখানে লিংকটা পেস্ট করে দিলাম, দেন আমরা ওকে করে দেব। হ্যাঁ, আর একটা কথা হচ্ছে অবশ্যই মনে করবেন আমরা আবার লিংকটা কপি করব, দেন হচ্ছে এইখানে যে এই দুটো অপশন ইউজ কন্ট্রোল ফ্রেম রেট, এটাতে মাস্ট বি আপনারা ক্লিক করে রাখবেন। আর নিচেরটা হচ্ছে কন্ট্রোল অডিও ভিআর, এটা হচ্ছে মানে হচ্ছে এটার কারণে আপনারা অনেকেই অন না করার কারণে অনেক প্লাগইন আপনারা ইউজ করতে পারেন না, বিভিন্ন সমস্যা দেখা দেয়। তো মাস্ট বি আপনারা এই দুটো অপশন মনে করে রাখবেন, যে এই দুটো অপশন লিংক কপি করে পেস্ট করার সময় এটা অন করে রাখবেন। হ্যাঁ, আমরা এখানে মূলত ফ্রেম রেটটা একটু ঠিক করে দেবো, আর ফ্রেম রেটটা একটু ক্রপিং করে দেবো। ক্রপিংটা না করে দিলে হচ্ছে কি কপিরাইটটা চলে আসে। তো ফ্রেম রেটটা আমরা ঠিক করে দিয়ে আমরা ক্রপিংটা একটু ভালোভাবে করব। ভালোভাবে করার পরে আমরা হচ্ছে ফ্রেম রেটটা মূলত অ্যাডজাস্ট করে নেওয়ার পরে আমরা স্টার্ট স্ট্রিমিং কিটা অন করে দিব। দেন হচ্ছে যে আমরা দেখবো এখন খেলাটা স্ট্রিমিং কি ফেসবুকে চলছে কি। সো দেখেন কানেক্টিং হচ্ছে, ওই স্ট্রিমিং কিটা কানেক্টিং হচ্ছে, চলে আসছে আমাদের ভিডিওটা ফেসবুক পেজে চলে আসছে। আর একটা জিনিস আপনারা এখান থেকে সেটিং এ যাবেন, সেটিং এ যাওয়ার পরে ভিউয়ারে চাপ দিবেন। ভিউয়ারে চাপ দেওয়ার পরে টার্ন অন অটো জেনারেশন ক্যাপশন, এটা মাস্ট বি অফ রাখবেন। হ্যাঁ, এটা অফ করে দিলাম আমি। দেন হচ্ছে অ্যালাউ ভিউয়ার টু রিওয়ান্ড, এটা হচ্ছে এটা অফ করে দিবেন। এই দুটো অফ করে দেওয়ার পরে আমরা আবার সেটআপ পেজে চলে যাচ্ছি। ওকে, মূলত আমাদের এখন মেন কাজটা করতে হবে অডিয়েন্স সেটিং এ যে। হ্যাঁ, এই অডিয়েন্স সেটিং এ যে আমরা যতগুলো রেস্ট্রিক্টেড লিস্ট আছে, মানে ব্লক লিস্টগুলো আছে, এখানে যদি প্রপারলি আমরা না ইউজ করতে পারি, সো আমাদের এতটুকু কাজ টোটালি বৃথা যাবে। হ্যাঁ, আর মূলত আমরা এখানে 100, 200 ব্লক লিস্ট ইউজ করি, অন্ধবিশ্বাসের মতো ব্লক লিস্টগুলো দিয়ে দিই, কিন্তু মূলত যেখান থেকে কপিরাইট দিচ্ছে সেখানকার ব্লক লিস্টে আমরা দিচ্ছি না, এই জন্য আমরা কপিরাইটগুলো খেয়ে যাই। সো আমি এত ব্লক লিস্ট আপনাদের দিব না, মূলত যে যে ব্লক লিস্ট দিলে আপনারা কপিরাইট খাবেন না, মূলত আমি সেই ব্লক লিস্টগুলোই দিব। হ্যাঁ, আর আপনারা তো জানেন ব্লক লিস্টে সেট করা ব্লক লিস্ট এগুলো কান্ট্রি ব্লক যেগুলো, সেগুলো বের করতে অনেক পরিশ্রম যায় এবং অনেক এগুলো সেট করতে অনেক সময়ের ব্যাপার। আমি যেখান থেকে শিখেছিলাম সেখানে আমাকে 150-এর মতো ব্লক লিস্ট দিয়েছিল, আমি অন্ধবিশ্বাসের মতো দিতাম, তারপরেও কপিরাইট ক্লেম আমি খাইতাম। তো আমি অনেক রিসার্চ করার পরে অনেক কিছু দেখার পরে আমারও গুরু আছে 2-3টা, তো ওদের কাছ থেকে পরামর্শ নেওয়ার পরে আমি কিছু মনে করেন যে অডিয়েন্স সিলেক্ট করছি, দেন কান্ট্রি ব্লক লিস্টগুলো আমি বের করছি, সেগুলো আমি আপনাদের ডিসক্রিপশনে দিয়ে দিব। সো আমি এখন আস্তে আস্তে আমার ব্লক লিস্টগুলো কান্ট্রি লিস্টগুলো আমি এখানে বসাই দেবো। হ্যাঁ, এখানে আমার কান্ট্রি ব্লক লিস্টটা হচ্ছে মুম্বাই, এবং হচ্ছে মুম্বাই দেওয়ার পরে হচ্ছে মুম্বাই সিটি, মুম্বাই নেভি, মুম্বাই সিটি এগুলো দিলাম। হ্যাঁ, এখানে আস্তে আস্তে আমি দিচ্ছি, এখানে দিব দিল্লি। সো আমি একটু ভিডিওটা ফাস্ট ফরওয়ার্ডিং করে দিচ্ছি, কারণ হচ্ছে এগুলো ব্লগ লিস্টে বসানোর জন্য অনেক সময়ের প্রয়োজন হয়ে থাকে। হ্যাঁ, এই প্লাগইন ইউজ করার জন্য আপনারা অপশনটা ওকে হওয়ার পরে এখান থেকে চলে আসবো এই মডিফাই অপশনে, এখানে পিচ অপশনে যাব, পিচ অপশন থেকে দেন এখানে সাজেস্ট পিচে যাব, আর দেন এই সাজেস্ট পিচে যাওয়ার পর এই পিচটা আমরা একটু কমাই দিব, দেন হচ্ছে আরেকটু এই পিচটা কমাই দেওয়ার পর এই পিচটা বাড়াই দিলাম আর একটু কমাই দিলাম। না এইভাবে করে দিতে হবে, একটু অ্যাডজাস্ট একটু আপ ডাউন করে দিবেন। হ্যাঁ, এই পিচটা হচ্ছে VST2X, এই প্লাগইনটা এইভাবে পিচটা আপ ডাউন করে দেওয়ার কারণে আপনাদের কপিরাইটটা মূলত আসবে না। সো কাজটা এতটুকুই, এই জাস্ট এই প্লাগইন ইউজ করবেন, এখানে কাজটা করে দেওয়ার পরে আপনাদের আর কপিরাইট আসতেছে না। আমাদের অলমোস্ট সব কাজ শেষ, এখন আমরা খেলাটাকে গো লাইভ করে দিব। এখন গো লাইভটা হয়ে গিয়েছে, সো আমরা একটু পরে দেখবো কতজন ভিউ হচ্ছে। আর আরেকটা কথা মনে রাখবেন, সেটা হচ্ছে খেলা শুরু হওয়ার 1 ঘন্টা আগেই আপনারা সবকিছু সেটিং ওকে করে রাখবেন। এখন মূলত খেলা হচ্ছে না, সো আমরা হাইলাইট দিয়ে আপনাদের দেখাচ্ছি কিভাবে খেলাটা লাইভ করতে হয়। আর আমাদের টাকা ইনকাম চ্যানেলটি অবশ্যই সাবস্ক্রাইব করবেন এবং আমাদের হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে অবশ্যই জয়েন হবেন ফ্রি সাপোর্টের জন্য, এবং আমাদের ফেসবুক পেজে ফলো করে রাখবেন। হ্যাঁ, সো এখানে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি এখানে হচ্ছে যে আরেকটা অ্যাড লিঙ্ক করতে হবে, সেটা হচ্ছে যারা টাকা ইনকাম করবেন বেডিং সাইট আবিজাবি, সেই লিঙ্কটা আপনারা এখানে অ্যাড করে দিতে পারেন। সো আমি এখানে টাকা ইনকাম করব না, সো আমি বেডিং সাইটে কোনো লিঙ্ক শো করব না। সো এখানে আপনাদের এই কাজটা করার দরকার নেই। হ্যাঁ, সো ওই দেখুন আমাদের ভিউ হচ্ছে, ভিউ অলরেডি 15 জনের মতো হয়ে গেছে, দেখছেন এখানে 15 জন ভিউ। সো এইভাবে লাইভ করবেন, আর সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, আল্লাহ হাফেজ।
Between two players who've been such valuable acquisitions for Spurs this season. Thomas hunting what could have been an 8th league goal this campaign. Kasparai. Free kick to Manchester City, who will be eyeing a second goal. This team under Gareth Taylor.
যে ব্যাপারে তুমি সত্যি বিশ্বাস করো সে ব্যাপারে কখনো হাল ছেড়ো না, পথ তুমি খুঁজে পাবেই। আমি ব্যর্থতাকে মেনে নিতে পারি, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা না করাকে মেনে নিতে পারি না। হার মেনো না, আজকের দিনটা কঠিন, কাল হবে অন্ধকার, কিন্তু তারপর
the return ball now forward from Kelly, who was of course on target in midweek, as was Lauren Hemp in that win in the Manchester derby. Hemp all too quick to remind anyone on social media who wasn't sure. He said Manchester still of course is blue, for anyone wondering. That was on Hemp's Twitter.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, ক্রিকেটের আপডেটে আপনাকে স্বাগতম। বাংলাদেশ শ্রীলঙ্কা সিরিজের পূর্ণাঙ্গ সূচি প্রকাশ, এক নজরে দেখে নিন।
Kelly looking for the 1-2, just too much on it from Kasparai. Reminder, of course, that Manchester United have won 2-1 against Aston Villa. Nikita Paris with 2 goals, Rachel Daly got one back, but it wasn't enough. And Everton Leicester, full-time whistles just about to blow there. That's been a goal between Bristol City and West Ham as well. Remember, you can watch that one live on the FA Player right across the world. Slightly heavy touch from Grant takes it out of play. Jabani Shaw dropping deep, linking the play really nicely. That is exactly what you want from your centre forward against a high press. Angled Dahl. Kelly, so dangerous when in full flow like this. Little ball inside, wasn't quite where Kelly wanted it, but you can see the combination and the intent. Now Alessandri strides forward with confidence. Inside to Kelly, helps it on. Lovely move this from City. Angodal, what's at the end of it? Kelly again, deflected. But Tikova can't stop the corner. Midway point of the first half. Manchester City dominant so far. They've got the goal. Certainly had a lot more of the play. Barbara Votikova hasn't necessarily had to make any particularly exceptional saves apart from the goal, but there's been a consistent, steady Manchester City pressure, which continues here with this corner. Cross put in. Will come back for Hasegawa, who's content to recycle. Greenwood's angle ball. Cleared in the nick of time by Evelina Summanen. And Robert Villahammon's very tactically flexible systems ended up at centre-back against West Ham in Spurs' 4-3 win against them last weekend in the WSL, when Jessica Naz's winner made the difference. Grace Clinton with a brace, Celine Bizet also on target. Lisa Shimizu, Viviane Asai and Amber Tiziak all on target for the Hammers in what was an epic London derby. Half an interception on it, but I say only half because it's an immediate concession of possession. Manchester City with the ball again, as has been the modus operandi of this first half. Bunny Shaw dropping deep. They are a very difficult team to get the ball off. Well, Gareth Taylor said that thought this would be a tough game for his side, that Spurs are improving under a new coach, and interesting quote, said they're starting to become a different kind of proposition under Robert Villahamon. Right now, Manchester City will be very pleased with this start, which might be about to get even better. Kelly inside, missed by Coombs, who almost got a second bite at the cherry, and then smashed over on the follow-up by Leila Wahabi. Leila Wahabi looking for something of a rare goal, the former Barcelona defender. Wahabi, who has yet to score for Manchester City, nor is her fellow fullback, Kirsten Kasparai. Coombs. All the way back with Keating. Greenwood forward to Coombs. Two teammates both at club and international level as well. Laura Coombs forcing her way into Serena Fiegman's setup with the Lionesses, having had a time where she'd quite openly feared her international career might be done. Hasegawa. Alice Chandri. Neat work to find Kasparai. Kelly. Shimmying, threatening as always. And Godal trying to make the most of her opportunity to get a start today, having come in for Gilles Rod's spot in the team with Rod out injured. Hooked only half clear by Bartrip. And Godal once more. Kasparai on the underlap. A very tactically flexible team, Manchester City. As Alexandri's lost it in a bad area, Thomas helps it on for England. And the counter-attack is quickly snuffed out. It's a combination to watch out for. It's only fused newly this season. Robert Villahamon's 4-2-3-1. Seeing often England tend to drop slightly the deeper of the two to feed Thomas, but very interchangeable. Here goes Hemp. Cross blocked. Coombs. Hemp once more. has a great record against Manchester City. Got a goal and 2 assists in that 7-0 win against them in the reverse fixture. He scored 6 against Spurs in the WSL in her career for City. Had his cross blocked. Neil then fighting to keep it in and does well. Then ends up hammering it out of touch. Wahabi. Manchester City chasing a 7th straight win in a row on the pitch. Plenty going on off the pitch for them as well. Plans recently submitted for a purpose-built training facility, which is set to be done by 2025. Managing Director Charlotte O'Neill telling BBC Radio Manchester, "We were pioneers in provision for female athletes, but as things evolve and levels increase, we must respond to that. We never want to be in a situation of outgrowing our facility." Also said winning the WSL is one of our ambitions, but said that there is no immediate pressure on Gareth Taylor. Of course, Manchester City had a somewhat disappointing campaign last season, finishing 4th and missing out on Champions League qualification. Alexandri. Gets the return ball. Alexandri, who's settling into second full season at Manchester City after signing from Atletico Madrid. Taylor describes her as almost like a captain without being named one. Kasparai. For Kelly. He's hustled off it. That's good work in there from Grace Clinton, to the justifiable excitement of the home fans. Neil Den. Clinton. Played their way out nicely there. Sumanen. Almost. You could see exactly what she was trying to do. And still there for Spurs to build something here. England. Lovely, beautifully constructed move this. Is there something at the end of it? It's Martha Thomas! And it's 1-1! Spurs brought back from their jubilation. Thomas offside, and it won't stand. It did look like she might not have necessarily timed her run as she'd like. The flag did take a little while to go up, which had Spurs fans hopeful that it had counted. But promising signs, though, for Spurs. That's by a long way the most confident spell of possession that they've had in the match. Just in the way they were zipping the ball around. And they can take a lot of confidence and belief from that. Desperate to show which they've improved since a couple of months ago in that 7-0 drubbing. The game really isn't in keeping with the story of that season over.
ये तुम्हें साइन दे रहा है। हाँ, बस इसे कैसे समझे हम? फिर से हॉट में ट्रांसलेट कर। वो बोल रहा है मैं बेवकूफ था। मैं लॉर्डशिप खा गया और शायद ज़्यादा पी गया और इसलिए मुझे सज़ा मिली और उसे नहीं पता कि वो प्रश्न को कैसे आसान करें। उसे नहीं पता कि इसे कैसे फिक्स करें। मुझे भी नहीं पता। उसे सीधी मदद करनी है। मेरे पास आइडिया है। हमें इसे छींक करवानी होगी। क्या? वो छींकेगा और सारे शिप्स बाहर आ जाएंगे। हम उसके खुद करेंगे। कहाँ? बेल की नाक में। जल्दी, हमारे पास ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है, बंद हो जाएगा। दीवार के पास हौसी, अपने नाक से गुदगुदी करो। सुन रहा हूँ बात, तुम मुझे बता रहे हो। Messi，王部长，王部长，王鸟。ऊपर खींचो ये छिपे वाला है बच्चे पार ना करे कुछ काम आ गई पकड़ो वाद्या
in their last 3 games against Spurs. It is
मैं दिन के बारे में भूल गया
MC started Manchester City statistician as well. He scored everybody else has scored 9 against them.
आखिर ये पूरा नहीं था बैक से खास में क्लासिक कर एक फिश के लिए उनके लिए आया उनके लिए पाओ ये हमारे लिए मुश्किल है
outside rather than inside. Just starting to find a foothold in the contest. Starting to grow in confidence a little bit the home side. Bartrip, such a key figure at the back for Tottenham Hotspur. Clinton just fouled by Hasegawa. Didn't look to be a huge amount in it, but maybe just a slight shove in the back from Hasegawa, and Clinton made sure to get the free kick. Clinton just bundled off it. Grace Clinton, who had a loan spell at Bristol City last season after developing at Everton before Manchester United had signed her. Manchester United have said that they want to use her in the long term, but I suppose very happy to have her right now. Back with Vortikova. Nervous moments, but then a lovely Cruyff turn to get away from the initial press by Coombs. And win Spurs the free kick eventually. Molly